some people in the hospital right now, so I haven't been able to do some readings. Very tumultuous time for me. However, let's just get right into it. Okay, I see some mixed things going on here. And I mean, there's some positive in September, and then there's a lot of negative. And I want to say negative as in not something you can overcome, because a lot of the cards do show that you are still maintaining some upper hand regardless of all whatever situations that you're each individually going through. I will say this, the challenges seem to be sort of second, like everything that's a clarifier basically is more the challenging energy. So it's almost like these are events that could very well have been something you've already gone through, and then you're sort of rising to the top here in September, trying to deal with the fallout of it. But again, you're all going to be on a different timeline. I will also say that there is some issues here in regards to more challenges that, challenging energy that you certainly have to deal with. But again, a lot of conquering energy, and it certainly does look like you have the upper hand regardless overall. So again, you're all on different timelines. You're not all making the same decisions on the same day or within a 2-week period. So this may trickle out for some of you further out. But as I said, overall, we'll just kind of get right into it and see where things land. I'll do the general energy first and then sort of tie it in together. I'm also using the Psychic Tarot for the Heart deck below this. And then we'll just go through the immediate deck here. This is just more general reading as to energy that may be prevalent. So again, I am seeing more along the lines of some very breakthrough energy here, but let's start with the main energy out here too. So, okay, so individually, I mean, the card of the the 8 of Wands is definitely a card of some fast moving energy here. So there's definitely something coming in that is, things are speeding up in the months of September. So whatever you're dealing with is going to be kind of keeping you on your feet, on your toes here. I mean, it is also a time where you're starting to have to set some boundaries or set some priorities, that kind of thing. You're really trying to sort out things at a breakneck pace is really what I would say here. It does seem like there could be some quick communication coming in here as well with regards to the Queen of Swords. Could be maternal energy here or feminine energy. Doesn't have to be. It could be someone who just exhibits those qualities. But it certainly is sort of sorting through things and getting things in order. Like I said, the 8 is definitely sort of that regenerative energy here, but I definitely feel with that 8 of Wands coming in, it's going to take some energy out of you to sort of deal with whatever the situation is. So 8 of Wands, incoming messages, something that's going to be speeding up here that's in regards to communication. There might be a lot of people that you're in touch with or whatever here, because I do see a younger person, could be 20s, 30s, that kind of thing here with the Knight. I also see sort of a Taurus energy, could be dealing with anything that's governmental, hospital, anything like that, anything that's going to be more formal or authoritative sort of energy. But like I said, when I look at that 8 of Wands energy, I just feel like the beginning of the month is just going to sort of throw you into a pretty quick pace. So get ready, because even though I see a quick pace, following that, maybe it's been a quick pace, following that, it seems like something slows down here because there's a new opportunity that's going to come forward down the road, or at least something. And the Pentacles can also represent body as well. But there is something here that indicates that there is a bit of a slowdown, but there's also a conquering energy here as well. So again, something swiftly coming in terms of news, and I feel this could be very well good news, because a lot of the cards here, even though they're followed up with some very negative or harsher energy, I shouldn't say harsh, but I mean, there's a couple of cards here with the Knight of Swords, dealing with some very deep, dark secrets or things that you wouldn't have otherwise felt. Anything that would have been challenging you here. It seems like the Wheel of Fortune is pulling things into your favor and moving it in the direction that will help you to balance things out. But there is going to be an end to a period of I don't want to say stagnation, because I don't really see stagnation, anything like that here. It feels like something is good news, or something is coming through here pretty quick in September. Like I said, it's rapid action or rapid communication more so, because I see the Queen of Swords. But to me, it looks like there's something that you're going to have to deal with that comes in right away. And, and then it's like something slows down. Now, this rapid action or this communication could be in around female or a mother energy, or it could also be around somebody in their 20s, 30s, something along that line. But there's also sort of an energy around even a workspace as far as a new job for anybody who's looking. For others, this is going to represent as more of a person, again, 20s, 30s, that may be having some kind of, rapid information that's coming in around perhaps a health situation. Because I do see sort of a rest and recovery scenario here with the Knight of Pentacles. So this is somebody who would generally present as very calm, cool, collected, methodical, is appreciates authority, certainly somebody who has that ability to really think things out and do things in a very productive way. They're not somebody who's quick to action. This is somebody who's really slow, steady, and, keeps the pace. So whoever this is that you're dealing with, I feel like there is some possible hospital stay or something here. Or again, this could be just somebody is going to be going on I don't want to say relaxation. Travel could be present, I guess, here, because I do see Wheel of Fortune as well as the Chariot. So, I mean, there is the potential for someone to be considering something around travel. But the reason why I err away from that is because when I see the Nine of Swords, I don't really feel that that's a happy movement ahead. It feels like there's some situation here that's being dealt with on a very deep level, because I also see the Judgment card out here and the High Priestess. So again, we'll go through some of the other cards here and sort of field things out. But for right now, I just feel like there is something that is quick communication starting out the month that is going to be in around, something that could be even around the Libra energy here as well. Queen of Swords is still sort of in that realm of, it's a receptive kind of energy. It's bringing things into you. I don't want to scare you here, but I did see a Tower later but it's not a main energy card. It's something that may have already happened, that this is just sort of the synopsis of that, right? So of that Tower fallout, this could be just correlated around it. But it's a secondary card, like it's somewhere in the layout where it's more of a clarifier. So it's not a main energy card, just to give you a sense of ease of mind. So again, the Queen of Swords here, and with that Judgment card here as well, kind of gives me the sense that there's going to be something around a goal or an ambition, or something that you are, something that you're really trying to get clear on. Like I said, you're using your intuition, but it's kind of an empowering energy. You're using something about your communication skills to sort of empower a situation or to move something ahead. So I feel like this is a really protective kind of energy with that Judgment card, as well as the Queen of Swords here and the High Priestess. It's kind of someone who's being clear and independent, very direct, quick thinker, and I feel like this is quick thinking, to figure out a solution or come to, get to an answer right away. Like I said, this is Aquarius, Libra, Gemini here as well. Could also be kind of blunt news coming in here as well, but either way, it's still something that's kind of a problem-solving energy, and it's definitely a direct dealing with a situation. You're directly dealing with a situation. Okay, so outside of that, it's, again, kind of standing up for what matters to you. And again, this could be in around someone that is with the Knight of Pentacles here. Knights, again, can sort of fall in around the energy of a younger person, 20 to 30, but it could also represent you're just trying to slow things down and try to do things in a very methodical way, and really calm, cool, collected, not doing anything that is going to sharply or adversely affect your life in any way. I just feel like you're really towing the line in a really, you're slowing things down is what I want to say here. You're slowing things down to maybe ground yourself or get a better picture or get a better idea of how to deal with something. So it's a persistent, ambitious sort of feeling here. Definitely one that's, dealing with some practicality. But again, this Knight is for sure, somebody who's quite smart, hardworking, responsible, all of that, and definitely perseveres through a situation. There is something here about needing to slow it down anyway, because there's a lot of hard work I feel that's kind of gone into something here, especially when the Eight of Wands comes out here, and a lot of controlled energy, controlled, slow it down sort of energy to sort of deal with the scenario. So whether this is you setting some new financial goals, this could also be you sort of putting together a way of organizing your finances or organizing a situation around you. But either way, this is you trying to be steady and steady and not sailing through at any breakneck pace. I mean, something again regarding communication, something speeds up initially, but it then starts to slow down and you start to figure out ways to figure something out. This is where you're actually really committed to a goal, and I feel like it's a solid, stable, committed energy, especially, about regaining some energy here as well, is what I would say with that Four of Swords, because it feels like, you're in that space where you're trying to accept maybe a situation, accept some of the information around you, because, like I said, I mean, it's control that you're trying to get an upper hand, to stay connected to the situation. So you're trying to control something, you're trying to mastermind something here. So like I said, it feels like you're focusing on practical matters, but you're also in a situation where, again, there's a sense of organizing everything. When I get down to the Knight of Pentacles here also, I mean, the Ace of Pentacles, there's something new that's coming in because of your ability to handle a situation. There's some new beginning that's going to be allowing you to, move ahead in some way. This might be really more of a small token, or at least it's the idea that's coming to mind here with that Ace of Pentacles energy. So to me, it really does result around something that has a sense of monetary value. It's a new beginning in terms of finance, or it's a new situation that will allow you to feel like you're in control of an Aries or Taurus sort of energy is still coming through here. Cancer is coming through here as well strongly for me, that you might be dealing with. But like I said, the Emperor is a really strong energy. That's the major arcana. And the Wheel of Fortune, major arcana, as well as the Chariot, major arcana. So this is really big players. This is you being on top of the situation in some way and things going in your favor. And so again, the Emperor is still that energy of, committed, committed to the situation. It's where you feel like you've got a handle on your goals. It feels like you're in a space where you might really be dealing with some authorities as well in a situation, government, courts, police, whatever it is, fathers, anything, with authority could again be hospitals or whatever. But for me, I usually see sort of the Hierophant out for that. But I feel like this is more specifically, father figure, anything along that line. But either way, it's more of an energy of calculated, calm, cool, calculated steps, using a lot of logic, reasoning, that kind of thing, creating a strong foundation for yourself to be able to springboard from. A lot of strong conquest kind of energy here, really strong motivated drive, but again, slow methodical moves in the way you pursue things here. But there's a strong organizational ability in this month of September, trying to get things in a space where you have some control over, or more control over, a situation. I also feel like there is more of an adherence to traditional sort of treatments. So whether this is you dealing with a traditional health issue, or whether this is you dealing with a traditional group of people, or father figure more specifically, that's coming in here, you could be dealing with things in, trying to master something here as well. It's got a mastery sort of quality, and mentoring possibly here as well. But again, a lot of this energy is really about feeling in control of a situation. So again, we're just going through it generally, and then we'll be more specific here as we go through. But I do feel like you're starting to feel like you're in more control over your life here. The Wheel of Fortune, there's definitely something coming through where you feel like you actually have a little bit of luck after a time of, a lot of distress. A lot of situations were not within your control here. Wheel of Fortune is kind of turning things more so in your favor. And so this is some good luck that's coming in that is going to be advantageous for you to take advantage of. And again, like Wheel of Fortune is also, something is kind of leveling out here. Like I said, there's still some conquering energy, especially when we're around the Chariot. So to me, I feel like some of you could be, again, still on some kind of a trip, but I just don't see that strongly. I feel like the Chariot is more a matter of your ambition, your drive. Cancer person is relevant here. A lot of self-discipline is going into this month. And I just feel like you're in that space of pulling off something and moving it in your favor. So again, whatever this journey is that you're going to be going through, you're moving into this direction with some significant power and control. Some things that are in your favor either way. So again, this could also be, it's like an epiphany as well with that Chariot. There's something that's coming through in a very strong way that kind of speaks to you embarking on a strong self-discovery sort of journey here, something that's got a lot of purpose behind it. So whether this is you finding purpose in some of the people that are around you, you're finding purpose through a situation, a reason to go ahead and challenge something or embark in this direction. But either way, it's very purposeful, goal-oriented actions that I see here. And again, when we get into the energy of the Judgment, this is also, like I said, even with the Wheel of Fortune, that energy still came through very strongly that you're connected to some sense of luck here after a time of, some very difficult anxiety-ridden situations. This could be something where your fate, for some of you, maybe still going into this energy where you're facing a lot of the darkest shadows. For others, this is trailing out of that energy because everything is moving in your favor. You're already in this energy, and it feels like everything is starting to change, more of a sudden, unexpected change of some sort here. A new method, a new lifestyle, a new, something along that line where it's a turning point in your life. That's what the Wheel of Fortune is. It's a change in the direction of things. So I feel like you are not resisting it. I feel like you have a lot of going beyond your own limits, really pushing through in a situation. You're really making something happen in the month of September. You're taking charge of the situation. So I feel like this is, you really bringing something to the forefront. You're bringing something, ahead and really making it happen, like I said, with the Judgment card. And of course, we do have the Knight of Swords here as well. And of course, that could be representing, again, I still see Libra energy here as well. But that Knight of Swords energy is still conquering energy as well, right beside the Chariot and right beside the Emperor. Controlled, methodical moves, very strong conquering energy. And this is definitely about you eager to overcome your obstacles and not in a space of, mincing words. You're defending what you feel is the right thing to do in the month of September. You have a very strong focus on your goal, and it's almost to the point of a little bit of aggression, but you're still using a lot of reason and logic. So you're slowing things down a little bit here as well. So that's what makes me think that you're doing this in a way that has a lot of motivation behind it. But it's powered by a lot of motivation, but it's certainly focused on a goal. You have a goal in mind here, and this is not going to change. There's a lot of ambition here that I see happening in the month of September. So you're really trying to make your efforts pay off in a big way, that kind of thing. I also feel like even if it is a health issue, you are seizing control of the situation, and however that resonates for you, but this is sort of the first step in that healing process. And that's what I see here. And it could be, again, around a masculine, but there's a sense of, first step of healing something here. So there are a few other cards here that I'll kind of get into as well that sort of work around but I'll pull these forward here in a minute. We'll just sort of deal with the others. So that's the Five of Swords with the Knight of Pentacles. And so again, I feel it's dealing with a child or dealing with something from the past that you're really sort of in conflict, or there's conflictual energy around, but we'll kind of get into that here in just a sec. So we'll start with the main thing out here. So again, going back to the energy of the Eight of Wands, like I said, this is that space of Eight of Wands is something that's really coming in pretty quick here. So I want to just, before I kind of say that here, like I said, there's some cards below that, really indicate that there's a lot of shadow work that's taking place here. So I don't know if this is shadow work for you or if this is a residual to something that you're having to deal with. But either way, there is a sense of, really, really trying to kind of take charge of the situation either way. So maybe there is something coming in here that indicates that you don't have the upper hand, or maybe you feel like you're losing the upper hand. But either way, I mean, that may have been what it was. That's not where you are in the month of September, because that Eight of Wands, like I said, is some kind of speedy communication with that Queen of Swords. So, like I said, there is something here that kind of speaks to me as quick thinking, clear, decisive decision making. There's a lot of fast action, rapid progress toward some kind of goal or something along that line. So you're definitely moving in a space where, you've got clear boundaries and you're communicating in a very direct, concise way. So we'll just leave it with that one. The other part of it is here too, again, when we're kind of looking into that energy, this is still bold, fearless, pursuing your goals sort of energy. But it's also very powerful combinations, and not just in one. It's overcoming a lot of fears and, not afraid to face those fears. It's really bold and fearless, like I said. And I feel like you may have been feeling trapped. You may have been feeling stuck. And this is a reminder for you that whatever you set your mind to, you have very strong energy to accomplish it. And again, in September, you have the upper hand. This is not you letting go of anything, because this is bold, fearless action pursuing a goal. So I also feel like this is where the opportunities will present themselves. So some small token here up around a Aries person, or again, it could be a masculine, but Aries sort of comes through as strong for me. And it's, you're not letting your fears or your doubts hold you back either way. And it's because of that, you're sort of breaking free from the constraints. You do have some worry, you do have some anxiety, but there is a lot of potential in this reading here in the month of September that's pulling you through. So when we get to the Knight of Pentacles, again, this is that energy of kind of slowing everything down so that you can get a better idea of, how to operate here, because it's almost like you're in a space of, I need to take some practical steps. So I have to slow it down, figure out what my next move is. I mean, I've already created a strategy, and now I have to sort of implement that, is really what I see here. Because again, Knight of Pentacles with the Four of Swords, I mean, that's a pretty laid back kind of energy. So I feel like you're in that space right now of, you had to quickly come up with some kind of a strategy or make a quick move. And then something is, maybe there was a period of trauma or something like that. But either way, there's some kind of steady, focused progress. You know what I mean? So either way, I feel like you're carefully planning something out that has more of a long-term sort of vision. And you're doing it in a way that you need to balance everything out in terms of self-care, in terms of being practical. It's all about strength and compassion in a situation. So again, very grounded energy, even in terms of money, even in terms of finances. You're reflecting on your priorities here, in around your finances for some, and for others, this is could be in around a child, 20s to 30s. And it could also be, an Aries person that's also coming through here, but you're reflecting on a situation. Somebody's kind of laid back, could be in a situation where there is some kind of healing that's going on with both of these parties here, with a younger person as well as an older person, because that's mature energy with a younger energy, not child. But anyway, either way, there's a lot of financial stability and security that comes through in this month. And I feel that's because you've been really determined, really resilient, and you've combined all of your efforts to find that stability. So the other part of it is again, when we get to the Emperor and the Ace of Pentacles. So this is that energy again. You're using a lot of logic and reasoning to come up with your solutions. So you're really, pulling back, taking control of a situation. You're in a place where you have the ability to take control of the situation because you have some kind of upper hand here. And that's allowing you to create some kind of either material success for some of you, where there's a new job offer on the table or soon will be, because the Emperor is the energy that you're currently in, and this is where it's further out. So you're taking some kind of a step, and it feels like this is you acting immediately on something. Then you start to strategize, and then you're taking your power back, and it's the beginning of the start of a material gain or a focused career path, or taking advantage of a new chance that's coming in a particular way. So again, this signifies, you know, discipline and power and structure, and discipline is strong here, and organizational ability. So again, I really feel like this is you bringing some kind of structure to the table, because that's why the Ace of Pentacles is present here. So again, this is a really powerful character, the Emperor, and this is somebody who definitely has really sound judgment, and again, a lot of discipline to really make something happen. So you're really focused on that energy to create. You've got a leadership sort of mentality in this month, in September. I feel like you're really in a powerful sort of mindset. We also have the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune, again, is something that's turning in your favor. It's more of an unexpected change, I would say, you know, where things were going awry, things were not in a healthy space here. When I see the Nine of Swords, you know, you're dealing with a lot of changes that were causing you a lot of, you know, anxiety and fears that you were dealing with. And this could have been keeping you up at night. But there is a shift here. There is a shift with the Wheel of Fortune. And I feel like that is going to help bring you out of this inner turmoil. So, you know, things are always moving when you see the wheel here, the Wheel of Fortune. So there's a new unexpected change of some sort that's going to give you the upper hand and drive the bus forward, so to speak. So it's a turning point of some sort, and I think it's an unexpected change that may have been something that was quite difficult for you to deal with. Again, I feel like your worries are kind of somehow starting to fall to the wayside here, because, you know, there's still a little bit of unknown energy here, again, with that High Priestess, but there's still something coming, more cards coming through that are quite significant, quite large in terms of, you know, awakening to a scenario, you know, really taking control of a difficult phase in your life and getting a hold of some negative thoughts. So I feel like this is where you are in that space of, you know, there's a big message that's going to come through for you in the month of September that's going to help you to gain a deeper understanding of all of the anxieties and the fears that you were dealing with. And I feel like it's going to give your life a lot more meaning. And, you know, you're gaining some insight possibly into the past here as well. But there's definitely energy around greater wisdom and awareness, especially when I see the Judgment card out here. I will sort of say here, I mean, there's some other cards that I did pull as well, you know, where there is a new beginning with the Ace of Wands, and it feels like even more of an inspiring kind of energy. But it's definitely where you're getting a lot more ideas coming through here. And not only just that, we also had you getting back to work, you know, putting a lot more time, energy, and effort into this new path, into this new successful gain or leverage that you have obtained in September. So we also, you know, and again, when I see the Chariot card, again, there's a lot of energy about really clear thinking, keeping it smart, keeping it practical, keeping it, you know, in a space of the upper hand, you know, warrior energy, you know, that kind of thing. Again, super strong will coming through here to really fiercely take control of a situation. I feel like you're on the verge of something here in September that's going to bring about an incredible awareness for you, whether this is in a deeper psychological way, because we do have the High Priestess that's also out here, and we also have the Justice card following that, but we'll get into that here in a second. So again, Judgment card next to the Chariot, I just feel like there's a sense of spiritual awakening. There is a lot more clarity coming through in the month of September. I also feel like it's, you know, it's a time of reckoning. It's a new chapter that's beginning here. And I feel like you're kind of getting rid of some negative patterns where you felt like you didn't have control. You now figured out a way to gain control, to gain the upper hand, to take control over the negative, patterns. And you're really pursuing a very positive path with a lot more understanding of who you are and what you're here for. That combination, like I said, is really focused on goal-oriented things. So I feel like you're really summoning up that inner energy, that inner, you know, residual stuff from the core of your being to really put things into a new space, seizing an opportunity, seizing the day, carpe diem, that kind of thing. So again, this is where there's a sense of self-discovery, really getting to know yourself, really understanding that who you really are. This is, you having a real strong sense of purpose in your life now. It's you understanding your bottom line, really. And again, this is still a transformative kind of energy, but it's a very aggressive, assertive kind of energy, but slow and methodical. So again, I feel like there's lots of cards of change here that you are about to experience. And I feel like it's around your spiritual awakening and growth, and for sure goal oriented as well. But there's a lot of spiritual energy here where you're feeling a lot more self-assured, that kind of thing. So when we get to the Knight of Swords, like I said, that energy is still in around, introspection and, really trying to get it, because this is all the queens tied in together. So this is really, sort of delving between the conscious and the subconscious, right? So you're really understanding, a lot of parts about yourself, and that deeper wisdom is what is helping you to move forward here. I feel like you're really in a space where you're really going quite deep to find those inner truths, to really seek the changes that you need in this month. And it's a decisive course of action for sure. Too many cards, indicating that you really are on top of things. And again, even with the High Priestess, it is still lots of cards that have a symbolizing energy around change. It's definitely swift change, and it definitely feels like there is something quick that's coming into light. I definitely feel like you're trusting your intuition, but there's a powerful message that that's going to be revealed to you in the month of September. And I just feel like you've got some really grounded energy here. All these combinations speak to really important choices that you're making in this month. And I feel like this is not in any way reckless energy. This is strong, decisive choices. You have a specific path you're after here. And again, even when we speak to the other cards that I sort of pulled out here, I mean, even the card of justice, I mean, again, this could be you coming through in your own energy here as well. But I'll go through that one here in a second. But we also had the energy of the Five of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles, and, of course, we were also dealing with something from the past. So there's a certain sense of wanting a certain level of independence, that kind of thing. But to me, there's also sort of a heads up here that, maybe there was some conflict or there was some kind of betrayal. Somebody's intentions weren't maybe in it didn't have the best of intentions either way, but there's some kind of a sense of, loss and where nobody really won. And I feel like, you are either, or somebody is moving into a space of independence. This can be interpreted a few different ways here, but like I said, it's a situation where maybe you felt taken advantage of by someone in the past, that kind of thing. But there again is still an energy of conquering. You're refusing to let go. You're refusing to let anything get in the way of your success. So I feel like this is ultimately you triumphing over the challenges in many ways. And because it's the Five of Swords, like I said, next to the Nine of Pentacles, I feel like this could be even valuable insights around your finances. It could also be you being a lot more focused on being independent, as well as feeling a lot more like you're having to do a lot more. But there's still something around a child here as well, or someone from the past that's somehow influencing the read. So whatever financial successes that you were trying to gain in this month, I feel like you're really drawing on a lot of inner resources to keep things going. So either way, it's definitely that energy of achieving. So again, really focused, independent, self-sufficient kind of energy. You might be operating alone here, because of that Nine of Pentacles, or feel like you're operating alone. But again, there's something around the past here that's quite relevant. So when we get to the card of Justice, and again, the card of Justice is you coming through in your own energy. It's also a major arcana, but it's not the one that was mainly out here. So I just feel in this space, this is where you're really trying to kind of balance things out. You're trying to keep things in a space where you can, really operate from, you're just taking a hard look at your situation. And again, you're just bringing everything back into balance because you're rearranging your priorities. You're really organizing things. You got a clear picture of how things are going forward here. And you're just going to concentrate on how to make that happen. So it's really you committing fully in a situation. And again, even if we're talking about, I mean, it could be, I don't want to say relationship sort of oriented. It doesn't really feel like a lot of that is coming through for me. I just feel like a lot of this is about trying to weigh all the factors out to really make something happen in your favor. Because something here could be legal that's coming in here. I mean, we do have a couple of cards that kind of speak to that here with Judgment and so on. But either way, I still feel like there is a detached sort of energy, and there may be a compromise that has to be made in around a financial situation for some. But again, there's such a sense of having to operate things, in a very aggressive way, that I just feel like you are still in a strong position either way. This month. And again, it's like you're taking a good long hard look at things, but there's something here that's coming through that is going to kind of bring about some level of balance. But you definitely have something here that is going to come to light that you need to know, because that Judgment card is a pretty significant one. So we're just going to go into the underlying cards here also. Sorry guys, just a couple of seconds to clear these away. And again, even under that Judgment card here with the Four of Pentacles, it does feel like there is some kind of balance around money. It still feels like you, again, still have control over a situation. Because I would say that Four of Pentacles, I mean, on its own, it can represent some pretty good, keeping your cards close to your chest, that kind of thing. But it's also, really hanging on to the money, being really wise and careful with things. I don't see any big drops of huge cash or anything flowing through here, but I definitely still feel like you have the upper hand in around a financial situation. So like I said, I mean, just that combination for me, Judgment to the Four of Pentacles. And again, that's around a tower moment. And that might have been a tower moment that was previous to this read, because or maybe it is further out. But either way, I feel like, there was a fear of losing something here, some level of security. And so, because of that, you have this sense that you're letting go of your fears, because you're coming in with a lot more assertion, a lot more take control, responsible energy here. It's an empowering kind of energy, to create the life that you want. And I just feel like there's not a lot of insecurity or anything like that that's making you feel like you're losing control. I feel like you're making some really wise choices here but even though there was a period of confusion, but again, wherever you were feeling stuck and didn't know how to go forward, something is changing and around that is allowing you to sort of see clearly in the month of September here. So you're going to have some sense of clarity that is going to make all the difference. So, okay, hold tight, guys. We're just going to clear these out and get right into the remaining cards, which are below. Okay, so I'll just organize that a bit more here. Okay, so the ones that I'm seeing here is, again, there's still some battle-weary energy coming through here, but there is an opportunity, and you are definitely taking the lead. Pretty much a lot of what was said in the previous one here, because the card of Reach Out, like I said, I mean, that's obviously trying to figure out how to, fix the situation, and to embrace it, to be able to go forward. So reaching out is kind of a compassionate card here with the red border and so on. That's all about creative expansion, again, reaching out. So trying to create some kind of a connection here is what I would say. You're trying to find some kind of connecting energy here to be able to go forward. The What I would say there too, again, with the card of reach out, even though you're trying to find some sense of connection here, you are also in a position of wanting to take the lead, even though you're maybe getting some assistance in a scenario. So, like I said, I feel like there is something here around something that still kind of speaks to, you having to, I don't know if it's, you're having to kind of pull back here because you've got the just breathe card. But again, I mean, you're preparing for something here with the reach out card. So again, it's taking other people's involvement to create some kind of achievement here. That's what I would say. And it's definitely about you feeling maybe that you have to do something alone here because you are taking the lead, and it's somehow around things that darkest fears are coming true, but you're choosing your battle. You're choosing to go forward. You're going forward with the situation, even though you are having to connect with others to be able to do this. But either way, there's still there's grounded energy here. There's growth as well. The energy around an opportunity beckons. I mean, for sure, that's something that's a 4. So you're trying to create some kind of a balance. So there's something that's going to come about here in September, probably toward the end of the month, that is going to have you take action. So some interaction, something that that you're trying to get success with, is what I would say here is what you're now approaching. And you do have a lot of energy behind it because you're choosing your battles wisely and you're really dealing with things in a really methodical way. So it feels like you might have been struggling too long, and this is where you're stepping back now. But you're stepping back to create a strategy, to kind of create a plan of action. So the Just Breathe card, like I said, is about you kind of reconnecting and resting. So there might have been something here that, because you've been really withdrawn or really drawn and exhausted. I feel like in this scenario, of course, this is where you can really take some time and effort to kind of just breathe, reconnecting with other people, and again, maybe you had to face a whole bunch of battles. Some of you might still be moving in this energy. Others, this is kind of the energy of releasing it. So because you are in a space of healing. Healing begins down here too. So it's like you're transitioning from a really exhausting time, taking a break from relationships and that kind of thing, and just kind of reconnecting with yourself and leading, moving yourself in a way that you feel is going to be productive for you. So again, there's a lot of energy here where nothing can really hold you back because you've reached new levels of understanding here. You've got some lessons under your belt here, and you're just kind of recharging your emotional batteries here. So the card of lead, again, this is a very grounded energy. And so this is all about really standing in your power. This is really about trying to realizing, I think you're realizing that, you're a lot more powerful than maybe what you had anticipated. Because like I said, the card of just lead is quite a significant card next to choosing your battles. So you're leading by choosing your battles wisely. You're not operating from a place of chaos, which you might have been previously, because you're really operating in around some of your darkest fears were revealed here. Now you're in a space of healing because, again, healing begins over here with this card. So that indicates that your energies are now going to guide you toward a place where you actually have a sense of your current situation. You've evaluated things, your relationships, your hopes, dreams, all of that, and you're now ready to move into a new direction. So September is kind of a pivotal month, I would say here. It's a time of really just steadily moving forward. And again, the healing is around stress and unhappiness and being alone, all of those kinds of things. We also have the card of below that, you're healing your relationships, partnership, anything like that. And you're kind of giving back to you. The base chakra is kind of grounding yourself again here. It definitely speaks to being very rooted again. And again, that's still a card of really having more of a solid understanding of how to treat your body, your physical body, really taking stock of, what's the right things to do, for yourself? What are the supportive relationships? You know, what are the things that are kind of blessings in your life? You know, how do you reconnect with the energy in your spine, that kind of thing. And again, it's really finding anything that's around sort of earthly issues is what the card indicates, and it definitely is around survival mechanisms. So it's, you know, any issues of money or safety, shelter, all of those things are what you're dealing with. And it's really time for you to kind of get into more of a physical space to be able to heal your body. So when we're also looking at the card of heal, again, it's repeating itself here. So there's definitely some really strong energy here of trying to get through something. And again, it does feel like it's still in around relationships or connections. Sorry, guys, my throat here periodically conks out of me. Anyway, allergies. Anyway, where was that other card I saw in there? There was the card of love out here, but anyway, that was still in around kind of clarifying around the healing energy. So it's even a reconciliation or harmonizing a romantic situation or some kind of important connection to you, and you're just furthering that. So it's about really taking stock of matters of the heart, all of that. You're really trying to look into your situation and choose the right things that encourage you, sustain you, help you to value yourself, that kind of thing. You're really taking a look at how to you know, create something that's going to be more valuable to you, where it's unconditional, is what I would say. Again, if you're trying to find improvement in your connections, and you know, I feel like you're really appreciating you. You're really stepping back from all battles and just choosing the ones that are, you know, more the bigger battles that you feel you want to take on. You don't want to take on everything to waste all your time and energy. You want to just take on the ones that, you know, really help you to see, make the biggest changes. So again, that's where we're at with that. Choose your battles wisely. This is a lot of conviction. Any areas that you had resistance around, which seems to be around your darkest fears, I feel like this is you in a space of really analyzing your beliefs. And again, if there was some difficulties where you had challenges around a connection, I feel like you're standing back. You're not pushing back, and I don't feel like you want to justify yourself. I feel like you're only going to engage when you feel it's going to be productive conversation. So, like I said, I feel like you're really in a space of weeding through confrontation, really evaluating the right things that, you know, to enter into with your connections, whatever's your highest good, that kind of thing. I feel like you're letting go of discord and problems or battles, all of that. It's too exhausting, it's too damaging to relationships. All of that is what the card depicts. So the other, sorry guys, trying to breathe again. The other card again of lead, it definitely speaks to you just taking control back. And again, this is about you prioritizing yourself, acting on new structures, and really putting in some effort about your own needs being met. I feel like you are not trying to dominate people. I feel like you're in that space of, you know, lead by example, and that you're really focused on yourself in terms of your emotions, your, you know, finding the best side of yourself and trying to create some boundaries, prioritize your efforts. Again, you're being proactive with your actions, not reactive. Again, this still stands to Emperor energy, repeating here as well. And again, we also have the embrace. So it's like you're letting go of the things. There's not a lot of resistance here. It's like you're in a space of, okay, I appreciate what's happening. This is what's happening. I'm going to just focus on the things that I actually have control over. And, you know, you're giving to yourself, your needs, your wants, that kind of thing. And this is putting you into a position where you can actually take control of your connections, because the reaching out is, you know, you connecting, but it's also a very loving, compassionate space. So it's a very supportive kind of energy, whether this is you or other people that are coming in around you. I just feel like you're going to have more fulfilling relationships in this month, because this is really the card of the world with the embrace. So it's about some kind of immediate change here as well that's coming into your relationships. It's going to impact your relationships. Anyway, last card out again was that opportunity beckons, and that is where you're at. So this is where you actually have things coming together, and you're actually going to, really have something that is going to feel like it's more of a success. Something is going to present itself where you have, I think maybe after a space of things being very unhappy, like I said, where you were discouraged, I feel like that's where this card is coming in. It's saying you've been struggling too long and now it's time to improve everything. Something is going to come in to kind of lift your spirits here, is what I would say. And then you'll be able to act. Something's going to present itself to give you some kind of opportunity. Anyway, that's where I'm going to leave it, guys. So again, if it resonates for you, great. If it does not, sorry, not your read. But again, I feel like a lot of the energies for Libra eventually catch up and overlap. So again, I feel like you're all eventually going through these energies, but it'll speak to you in different ways. The lessons are still sort of the same. However, it needs to be taught to you is how it will be presented. So if it's through a relationship, then that will be the case. If it's through money and you need to find a way to release or, lead or just back off, then that will be how the lesson presents itself to you. So again, however it resonates, I feel like you're working through some very deep, deep fears, a lot of anxieties, but you're totally in the space of healing for the month of September. And something is going to come through that is going to be a huge wake-up call. Anyway, that's what I have for you. Keep moving forward. Never give up.